Good day. I put this video together on the Hull Shield ultrasonic anti-fouling system as when I was looking to install it, there wasn't a lot of independent reviews out there, so I'm putting this together to help others. Today's video, I'm not going to really spend a lot of time on what Hull Shield is. You can look at the website there to get further information, but we'll talk about the project objective, project timeline, the project boat, the Hull Shield installation, show a video of the diving the hull, and some brief comments on my conclusions. The project objective was not to totally eliminate hull cleanings, but rather reduce cleanings from about 10 to 12 times per year to about 5 to 6 times per year. The boat is kept primarily in a warm water environment throughout the year. The project timeline was such that the boat was hauled and anti-fouling paint was applied in July of 2023. The boat was relaunched on August 4th. On September 25th, I installed 2 units of the HD4, which gives me 8 ultrasonic emitters, 6 on the hull, 1 on each of the bow and stern thrusters. The hull was totally cleaned on September 30th for light growth. October and November, the boat was used about 47 hours, and the first hull cleaning was 70 days later on December 9th. And I'll be doing future videos showing the progress going forward. This is the project boat. It's a 2012 Katie Krogan 52. These are photos from the haul out in July of 2023. This is what the emitters look like. There's 6 of these epoxy to the hull and 2 of them to the bow and stern thruster. This is one of the control boxes. Each control box controls 4 emitters. The unit itself is a 12-volt system, so being on a 24-volt boat, it needs to be wired into a 12-volt step-down converter. This is showing the approximate location of the ultrasonic emitters on the hull. There was 1 on each bow and stern thruster and 6 spaced across the hull. This is diving the hull. As you can see, there's a little bit of growth on the prop. Some seagrass was in the stern thruster, but other than that, it was not too bad. Some seagrass on the through hull there, but not too much barnacle growth. The hull is fairly clean. Another through hull with some seagrass. Some light growth there. The stabilizer, there was some seagrass caught up in between there, but other than that, there wasn't really too much growth as of yet. Another through hole with some seagrass and debris. I think there was 1 small barnacle on the edge there that I flicked off with my finger. A couple small barnacles there on the hull. The depth transducer with the speed, that was all fairly clean. Heading towards the bow of the boat right now. I think we'll see towards the front of the bow there was a little bit more algae growth, not hard growth, but there was a little bit more algae growth towards the front that easily wipes off with the anti-fouling, but because of the curvature angle of the bow, it gets a little bit more sunlight than the other back portion of the hull, so it tends to get a little bit more algae growth up there, but that's fairly easily removed. The bow thruster has a little bit of growth on there, a little bit more than the stern thruster, which I was a little bit surprised. Again, that had anti-barnacle paint applied, and you can see after this video I did end up cleaning it with a scraper, but there is a little bit on there, so it's questionable if those emitters are effectively stopping that barnacle growth. Again, some more algae easily wiped off a hull in the front there. Now on the port side, again another view of the bow thruster. A fair amount of growth on there. Coming down to the keel. The keel did have a few scattered barnacles on it after only 70 days since installing the system and cleaning. But overall, the side hull was in pretty good shape, other than a few scattered barnacles on the keel. Another through hull transducer there with a through water wheel. There's a few more barnacles on the keel. And I guess I'm going to surmise that that's because that keel is pretty heavy, obviously pretty thick, and I'm guessing that those emitters aren't able to emit any sound waves through that heavy keel. So I guess it's not stopping any growth there. The side hull did stay fairly clean. Another through hull. A couple small barnacles there, some seagrass. Now this is where it gets interesting. On the skeg was fairly heavy growth. You can see a few scattered barnacles there on the keel, but on the skeg it was heavy growth. And that's pretty much what I consistently get before I install the system across the keel. And there's no emitters. There's emitters in the lazarette to get the hull, and then on the stern thruster, but there isn't one on the rudder or the propeller. But that bottom of that skeg did have fairly heavy growth. It took a while to scrape off. You can see there's a few barnacles on the propeller. Again, not too bad. I've had it where it's got up to 1.5 inches thick on there, so after 70 days, that's not too bad. That was easily cleaned up, but there is a little bit of growth there. And a few scattered barnacles on the rudder itself, but other than that, just some light soft growth on there and algae. This is the other side of the skeg, the propeller, showing the light growth there, and another view at the stern thruster, which was in pretty good shape, other than a little bit of seagrass in there, which was easily pulled out. So looking at the video, what conclusions can be derived? My personal opinion at this point, I'm going to have to say the effectiveness of the emitters is indeterminate. It appears that they did help somewhat on the actual hull itself, but I was a little bit disappointed with the growth on the bow thruster, given that there is a dedicated emitter right on top of that epoxy to the top of that bow thruster. The heavy growth on the skeg, I guess I can forgive, given how heavy the keel is. I'm not sure any sound waves are ever going to get down to that low part of the skeg, so that's understandable. But I'm a little bit disappointed with the bow thruster. But overall, I'm going to just have to say it's indeterminate at this point, and I will be doing future videos as I progress and seeing how future growth continues on the hull. Stay tuned, and I appreciate your comments to the video. Thank you.